These are three players I want you to buy low walking into week number 11. And while you might not get all three of them dirt cheap, no one's saying you get even one of these guys. I have a surprise player, by the way. You see two on screen, Bijan Cook, but you don't see the third one. We'll talk about that in a second. I'll leave that as a little bit of a cliffhanger here from the intro into about 10 minutes into the video when I drop it. But these guys might not be cellar dweller cheap, but they are way cheaper than they should be. And I can tell you, this guy Bijan right now, I'm seeing so many questions that make zero sense. And I try and tell you guys, I test the temperature of these player values more than any content creator. I will stand by that. That's my opinion, but I stand by that opinion because I read so many questions. Nobody reads as many questions as I do on a live stream. Nobody interacts with the audience more than I do. I'll put that against anybody. And so I get a sense. Sometimes I don't even predict that it's going to go a certain way. I say, as soon as the dust settles, this guy will be worth this. But then I get the sense real quickly, that's not the way it's going. This guy right here, Bijan Robinson, I'm being talked to every hour, 10 to 15 times, whether it's on a stream while I'm live, whether it's in an email, whether it's a DM from my mom, where people are trying to panic and say, how do I get out of this? Smitty, would you trade Bijan for a player, even like James Cook and Keenan Allen? Smitty, would you trade Bijan for Michael Pittman Jr. and Breece Hall? I'm getting some of the dumbest offers I've ever seen as people panic on Bijan off a very short amount of time to panic. For good reason, we're wondering why they're using Algier at the goal line. Doesn't make, but it doesn't. Look, Gibbs a couple weeks ago was barely used. What did Gibbs have? 6, 7, 8 carries, whatever it was. Had nothing. He had like 20. He had like 2 or 3 points just about 2 weeks ago. Now he's everybody's favorite darling. This is a roller coaster ride, even for a guy like Bijan, especially for Bijan, because he sits in a volatile offense with a coaching staff that's inept, that should be fired. And so you're going to have some ups and downs with the offense. And when the offense has ups and downs, the running back and the game script has ups and downs. We're buying Bijan. It is absolutely crazy what you can get, what you can give up to get Bijan Robinson. James Cook, same thing. And the player that I'm going to rank third, the same thing, the Fantasy Football Show Graveyard Edition begins right now.
You're watching a
Graveyard Stream.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Some of the offers I'm seeing are putrid. And there's some good players involved. I'm not trying to suggest that, Barkley, I don't like Barkley, or Henry, I don't like Henry, or even Javonte Williams. I like Javonte Williams. Those are all good players. Bucky even. Hey, do I like Bucky and so-and-so for Bijan? The bottom line is this. Bijan Robinson deserves the same respect that Gibbs deserves. Bijan Robinson, while we would take JT right now over Bijan, they're still in the same bucket. They're still in the same tier. They still command an enormous amount of value in an exchange. And if you're trying to, let's say, get rid of Bijan at a much different value than you would JT, you're not paying attention to what this man is, what he can do, how people talk about him. And I know that the situation right now makes you a little worried because you're looking at how they used Algier this past game and you're wondering if Bijan's going to be phased out. It's ridiculous thinking. It's ridiculous usage, no doubt. But this team knows what they have. And they'll use Bijan. Bijan's going to pop off some big runs. He'll be back doing what Bijan does. And even if, let's say, he didn't become the player we wanted him to become, because he's still evolving. Let's say right now he flatlines into some sort of running back 4, 5, or 6 overall. Let's just say in a fairy tale world, he started playing like running back 5 or 6 instead of running back 1, 2, or 3. Because that's the lowest you're going to get out of Bijan. I don't care if they pull him out at the goal line every two out of 3 times. He's still going to be running back 6, 7, 5 in that worst of worst case scenarios. But the crazy part is you're buying him there. If you're trading for Bijan right now, you're buying him as if he's going to be running back 5. That's the whole point of this conversation. That's why we're here tonight, gathered here to discuss the case of Bijan Robinson. This is basically fantasy football court. We didn't set up as a court case, but maybe this is a court case.
It's time for fantasy football. Court! 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 Court!
Court is in session. Look at this. Look at this old one. ETN and Tootin. I think I still agree with it. ETN and Tootin. This is old. This is like in September or August. Bijan Robinson, there's no real case here. I don't think I'm going to have any witnesses or phone callers on this one. I'm merely just going to tell you that the case against Bijan versus the people is one that requires an apology. Not like St. Brown's, but a different kind of apology. An apology of how dare I disrespect Bijan at anything outside the top 3 running backs. You want to put Gibbs over him? Sure. You want to put JT over him? Sure. I'm fine with that. But who else are you going to put over Bijan? Who? Achane? I could understand Achane being on level playing field, but let's not discount what this guy is capable of. I don't think you want to say Achane's here and Bijan's here. If you want to say they're neck and neck and I just prefer Achane, I'm fine with that. But if anybody is sitting here for a second, you can say CMC if you want. You want to put CMC right there with Bijan right now, that's fine in a redraft sense. But if anybody's going to say that CMC or Achane or JT or Gibbs is up here and Bijan's here, and they aren't so arguable that you could literally have, who do you like? Christian McCaffrey, understandable. Who do you like? JT? Okay, I get that. JT? Oh, I get that. I really get the JTs. Bijan? Yeah, definitely could still be running back 1. If you're not in that frame of mind, I don't think I can help you. If you don't think Bijan Robinson could be literally from weeks 11 through 17, the number 1 overall fantasy football player, let alone fantasy football running back, I don't think I can help you. I'm fine if you want to rank them slightly different, but my point is here that they're all so close that if you're valuing JT as if you need in order to trade JT away, first people would say, you don't trade JT away. If you were to trade JT away, you couldn't win with JT. Just follow me for a second. Let's pretend you live in a Spider-Verse where you drafted JT and you're losing. Let's say you lost Neighbors and you lost all these other players that you traded for, and you were down to the bare bones and you lost Neighbors. You lost these players. You've got JT. You're not winning with JT. What would you trade JT for? The world. What's the world? Nico Collins and maybe I don't know, Achane? Bucky Irving and maybe a Egbuka? Like, these are the kinds of trades you would have to contemplate to get rid of JT. Am I correct? And even then, a lot of people wouldn't trade him. But pretending you don't have depth, you need to trade him. You're 3 or 4 wins with JT. It's embarrassing. Your mom's embarrassed of you. How can you, Sonny boy? How can you be 3 wins? How can you be 3 and 7, Sonny boy? When you've got JT, your mama raised you better than that. We raised you on meatloaf and Wheaties. And somehow, some way, your mom's disappointed. I'm disappointed. Everybody's disappointed in you. You got to trade him. What are you trading him for? What are you trading him for? Can I get a couple answers? What would you trade JT for? This is not about JT, but let me get a baseline. What would you trade JT for? I want at least 5 or 6 really good answers. Let's see. Brandon, you're going to bed. What the? That's not how you win, Brandon. Sweet dreams, Brandon. Enjoy dreaming of that second place trophy, Brandon. Bijan Buka. Don't use Bijan. Somebody give me a JT for. Stop using Bijan. London and Judkins. Okay, there's one. I'm not saying I do that. That's what Sonny says you do. Achane and London, Rice and Barkley, Lamb and Judkins. There we go. I like the Lamb and Judkins. Buka and Cook. Achane and Pickens. Come on, you get better than Pickens. Achane and Pickens. Rice and Cook. Do you know what I'm seeing for Bijan? Nothing even remotely close to those offers. meaning that somebody is valuing JT up here and people are valuing Bijan down here. I have no idea why. I have a feeling that if you're watching this, let's say you catch this in week 14. Let's say you're watching this in, I don't know, April of next year. You just happen to catch this video in your algorithm. You're probably saying, what is this guy talking about? Bijan's the number 2 or number 3 overall player. Is he out of his mind? This might not make sense a couple months from now. Might not make sense a week from now. Keep in mind that Gibbs 2 weeks ago everybody was panicked as Peter about Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh my God, Monty's what's he gonna do? Campbell, this play calling from Morton is horrible. And then Campbell took over play calling. Now all of a sudden Gibbs is everybody's darling, just like JT. JT and Gibbs neck and neck. CMC's right there, but are you worried about him getting hurt? But those 3 guys are right here. Bijan's down here. Trade for Bijan now. This price tag will not last. If you can't trade, I feel bad for you. If you can trade, this is on the table. Anybody that's contemplating some sort of complex move where you're sending 2 players away for 1, don't undersell the idea that you can land Bijan Robinson if you just make sure your offer is a pretty legit, heavy-hitting offer. And the offers that I would send would be something along the lines of you're trying to upgrade a Judkins, you're trying to upgrade a potential Hendy, or a potential Harvey. I'd upgrade, obviously, Hendy or Harvey if I'm throwing a wide receiver at it. If you're trying to get out of Kyron because you're worried about what if he doesn't last, what if they use Corum, whatever the case may be. Barkley, I don't think Philly's going to consistently use him. Henry might not last. Those are all, Gentia, worry about the offense. Those are all good players to start with as a centerpiece, and then you figure out what kind of weight you can throw on to make that 2 for 1 or 3 for 1 for Bijan Robinson. I'm seeing a lot of people coupling Henry, Barkley, Kyron. Even CMC would be an ideal move because CMC feels right here on the fair market and Bijan feels right here. It's not quite as big of a gap between JT and Gibbs and Bijan as it is CMC because people worry about the breakdown. But you could trade CMC for Bijan and probably upgrade your Keenan Allen to a Dunze. You could probably upgrade your Quentin Johnston into probably a Devontae Adams. You could probably take a DJ Moore playing really well and turn that into maybe, if you're lucky, an Adams. Or you could take even a high-playing, well-playing Waddle and turn that into a Rashee Rice using the potential CMC down to Bijan downgrade. Probably the most lucrative move would be to trade down into Bijan. Trade down into Bijan from one of those top-performing players. That would be the most ideal way to go acquire Bijan if you can't win with what you have. Let's get into the next player. So Bijan, he is Smitty approved. Best probably purchase in fantasy right now, period.
You've just been Smitty approved. Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Hi, my name is Bijan Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring touchdowns.
And I'm not saying Gavin's wrong in wanting JSN over Bijan, but this is how far Bijan's fallen to where Gavin's trying to make light of it. And Gavin, I'm not mad at you. I'm just using you this as a measurement example here. I'd take JSN for Bijan all day long, like all day. That's a very, very aggressive, statement against Bijan's top 1 to 3 overall value that he had just weeks ago. And that's just a perfect evidence that he is not in the same tier as JT, as JSN in fair market value. And while I'm telling you the fair market value is telling us that what have you done for me lately mentality in the historical significance of the last handful of fantasy football weeks in production do point to JSN, to Gibbs, to JT being more valuable, a better chance, a better odds-on favorite to beat out Bijan right now with what we've seen in the last handful of weeks. But to have have the preference statement, the preference of I'd take JSN over Bijan, turn from that to 2 weeks later, it's I'd take JSN for Bijan all day. Just proves my point. It just proves my point. Daniel says, Smitty, Hendy, and Achan gave me the W against Jonathan Taylor mashed potatoes. That's correct. little tiny Goliath got taken down by little tiny Achan and little tiny Hendy.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Man, that's great. Great news, man. Good to hear. All right, let's go to this next one. Appreciate you all, and I'll get to the super chats in just 1 second, and then we'll open some phone lines as well. James Cook, this is a player that I missed on. I said avoid him. I'm admitting that. I admit it all the time. People say I don't admit my misses. People just love to hate. Regardless, it doesn't bother me. Sometimes I defend myself. People go, Smitty, don't let it bother you. Don't let the haters bother. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't lose a wink of sleep over a hater comment or anything. But I do defend myself because that's my nature. My nature is to debate. My nature is to try and, prove people right or wrong or whatever, or just have good debate, just have good content. Sometimes debating is content. Sometimes somebody being a hater is ridiculous and we move on and we don't even mention them. We just block them. And sometimes we do talk about it and defend it because it might have remnants of a vibe that's out there and it needs to be addressed. But one thing I do is talk about misses all the time. And I admitted that I missed on Cook from the beginning. As soon as he started creating a pattern really is 2-3 games, I admitted this guy's not going to get hurt like I predicted. However, if you want me to defend the logic involved so you know that this man's not crazy and that there was something at least at the root of what I was saying, look at McLaurin. Look at Ayuk. Look at Debo. Look at Bosa. Look at really any player that's held out, they get injured. 9 times out of 10, 90% of the time, I'd probably say, a major holdout leads to an injury. And it's just the way it is, unfortunately. That's why I avoid any players that hold out. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think it was a mistake to avoid all those players, and obviously. And so in doing that, sometimes you get wrapped up on an anomaly, and this is an anomaly, where Cook didn't get hurt. But McLaurin got hurt. Everybody gets hurt. Holdouts lead to injuries. And it's just one of those things where, you got to recognize it quickly. And at the end of the day, and this is another one. Come on, Brandon. This is what I'm talking about. I love Dowdle, and hang tight for some Dowdle talk in a second. Not to spoil things, but Gavin, you're completely just in outer space with your takes tonight. I don't know if this is usual for you. I don't know if the mods know this, but Dowdle, Hendy, or no, this wasn't it. Where's the? Oh, was it? I'm sorry, Gavin. I'll take a lap on that one. I read Gavin's. That's the problem. I'm moving too fast. Poor Gavin. Gavin got caught up in this and he didn't do anything wrong. Dowdle, Hendy, Judkins. Okay, this is fine. It was Brandon right above Gavin. I'm sorry, Gavin. Gavin, let me send you to the moon real quick. I owe you one.
To the moon.
It was this one. Brandon. This is where, Brandon, this is where you're getting out of pocket. I love Dowdle. I love him. But what are we saying here? Dowdle over Bijan. I love Dowdle. Dowdle is the man. But Dowdle just had a mediocre game. We're going to talk about Dowdle in a minute, too. He had a mediocre game. I don't want to spoil the number 3. Thanks a lot, Brandon. Thanks a lot, Brandon spoiling. Damn you, Brandon.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
But this is what we're getting to. Dowdle over Bijan. That's how disrespected. Did I prove my point or not? Do I need to go further? Have I not proved that I have a thermometer and can test the temperature of players better than anybody that's creating content? I know what I'm seeing. Brandon would take Dowdle in a trade for Bijan. There are people that will trade James Cook or trade Bijan for James Cook. There are people that will trade Bijan for Adunze and Javante. There are people that will trade Bijan for Lad McConkey, who we love. We love. You know, I was gonna say Dowdle and Lad McConkey, but Brandon's telling us he'd take Dowdle. It's wild to me. Here's another player though in James Cook. Again, I admit my wrong, and again, holding out and staying healthy, phenomenal. Super impressive. It's usually not the case, and I almost don't regret it in terms of theory. Like if somebody's holding out, I'm still going to be very pessimistic to injury. Just because Cook slipped by doesn't mean that it's not right 90% of the time. But in this case, we had to adjust and adapt. I had to adjust and adapt quickly, and Cook's been balling out, and his offense is phenomenal. Josh Allen is phenomenal. There's no weaponry really. It's just James Cook, and more than anything, if you watch the game film, like I rewatched a lot of the runs that James Cook had, especially a lot of the aerial shots that I was able to find later. And I'm telling you, the man is reading holes and spaces on the field like I've never seen before. He is not just running into an open gap. He's creating space. He's finding and navigating and testing the waters on runs, and just absolutely picking up defensive schemes and patterns, and looks so good out there. I didn't even recognize him from this year to last year. I'm very, very impressed with what James Cook is putting on the table. And the fact that he's struggled a couple times here and there, people are very weird and fickle about production, just like Bijan. Let me pull up, and I don't mean to keep going back to Bijan Robinson, but just as a point of clarification, Bijan Robinson in week number 1 was running back 2. Bijan Robinson in week number 3 was running back 7. Bijan was running back 13, then running back 5, then bye week, then running back 1, then running back 5. So if you're counting with me right now, in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games with the bye week right in between week 4 and week 5, in his first 5 games, he was running back 2, 7, 5, and 1. And then one outside of the top 7, which was 13. So 2, 5, 7, and 1. The next week, running back 5. Where's Bijan faltered? He's literally played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games through 7 weeks, right? Through 7 weeks of football. Only once has he been outside the top 10, and only once was he outside the top 7, and only twice was he outside the top 5. He was 1, 5, 2, and 5, 7, and 13. There's no more consistent running back in the league other than JT, and Cook was playing about this level too, but this is a monster. This is a monster that had only 4 touchdowns in that time frame too. Then he was running back 36. That pissed a lot of people off. Running back 7, then running back 24. So 2 out of his last 3 games, he's been outside the top 20, and it has people panicked. He has Carolina and New Orleans, and then the Jets in back-to-back games. He has Seattle in week 14, but then has Tampa Bay, which is a good matchup. Arizona, I think, is going to be fickle. Week 17 is rough against the Rams. But keep in mind, Bijan is one of these running backs that's going to catch a lot of football. So that's Bijan. Why am I talking about Bijan? Because I'm trying to make a point that people give up on Bijan after 7 weeks of consistency of being 1, 2 overall running back and completely consistent. James Cook, this is just a pattern of being fickle. James Cook, over the course of the season, running back 4, running back 2, running back 8, running back 10, running back 42, running back 24. Very, very good, but that's not even as good as Bijan. 4, 2, 8, 10, 42, 24. Bijan had essentially 7-game stretch that was unbelievable. And this guy's had 2 bad games, 42 and 24, in his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th and 6th game in a row. Then bye week, comes back in his running back 2, running back 13, and last week running back 25 against a Miami Dolphin defense. It's so wild to me that he was running back 2 and 13 and then 25 in back-to-back-to-back games, and now all of a sudden people can get him for not pennies on the dollar. Again, none of the three running backs I'm talking about today, Bijan, James Cook, and other, which I'll name in a second, which whatever his face is, ruined it. None of these guys are cellar dwellers. The third guy's a lot cheaper than the first and second guy. The second guy, Cook, is a lot cheaper than Bijan, but all three are completely way cheaper than they should be. James Cook should be traded for. If you can't afford Bijan, if you can't afford obviously JT or Gibbs, then you want to, or CMC, you want to trade for James Cook. He's the next man up. Achane is a little more expensive than James Cook as well, because what have you done for me lately? He just absolutely exploded. When you get a hat trick or something like that, you're as good as gold. London's a victim of this as well. London's trash, then he's great. He's trash, he's great. He's top 5, top 7. James Cook coming off a 25, running back 25 ranked game in a matchup where he should have exploded against the Miami Dolphins is as cheap as he's going to get. He's playing Tampa Bay this week, and he's going to explode. And if you don't get James Cook now, you probably won't get him again. James Cook does have Houston and Pittsburgh in weeks 12 and 13, so if you can trade, I guess I should say this, let me back it off. Everyone's trade deadline is going to probably be over after this game, so I doubt that's why I say you're not going to be able to get him again. If you can still trade, maybe you buy him after the Houston game. Maybe you buy him after the Houston and Pittsburgh game. He goes into Cincinnati in week 14. He does have New England in week 15. He does have Cleveland in week 17. He has Philly, which is an easy matchup for a running back, in week 17. But I'm not worried about James Cook because James Cook is such a dynamic player that is put in different positions than the average running back, given the state of his offense, given how his offense is structured, given how they don't have wide receiver ones. They rotate around. Josh Allen's a mobile quarterback. I think whenever you look at a guy like Derrick Henry or a guy like James Cook or a player like Saquon Barkley, you have to be careful to use defensive stats the same way you use them against other running backs because you have a quarterback that requires a spy. And Josh Allen's going to take so much defensive attention away from the scheming of this offense when you're scheming against it, that you're going to see different lanes for Cook than you would a team that the defense is facing. So in the case of let's say like Houston's a fantastic defense, or even Pittsburgh. The idea that Houston's going to match up differently and scheme up differently against a team that doesn't have a mobile quarterback, that running back's toast. But in the case of Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, you've got this mobile quarterback that's going to just create more space, and James Cook almost becomes immune to the defensive stats against. I'm buying this man, and I'm doing it everywhere I can where I can't afford Bijan or Achane or obviously JT or obviously Gibbs. This is the next man up after Achane. The last of the big dogs, if you will, to go get that top 5 running back. This is the last of them. Go grab the boy before it's too late.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Number 3, and then we'll get to super chats and phone calls, is Rico. Rico is on another level below Cook and Bijan. Obviously, Bijan's on kind of another level, almost like a dotted, not a full tier break, but definitely a tier above. And, you know, I sit here and I say to myself, what running back do I feel has the capability of being as good as James Cook that does not cost even remotely close to the same value via trade? The answer is Rico Dowdle. And Dowdle didn't have a bad game last week. The game prior, he was running back 2, by the way. So week number 9 against a very tough Green Bay defense where everybody kind of came for your boy and a lot of questions. They said, why you keep recommending Rico? He plays the Green Bay Packers. They're going to shut him down. And I said, oh, contraire. This is, don't Dowdle the Dowdle. I did it the year prior. Don't do it again. Dowdle is a force to be reckoned with. And he looks completely different than last year. He looks like a totally different player than when he played for the Cowboys. He looks like a completely different man, even from last year, but especially since he was, a starter for the Dallas Cowboys. He has looked like a different monster. He's stronger, he's bigger, he's got determination, and he knows what he's fighting for right now. He's not getting another chance to be the starter. He finally climbed up and grabbed a hold of this job, and nothing's going to take it away from him. He's a dog. He's injured, he plays. His quad, he plays. It doesn't matter. He gets into the end zone. His coach loves him. They scheme him up at if I had to say there's one player, my life's on the line, and the player's on the 5-yard line and they're a running back, who do I expect to punch it in? Of course, I'm probably going to say, I'm probably going to say Algier, but if Algier's not available, we're, it pisses me off so bad because it should be Bijan. Bijan should be my answer. Life's on the line. Bijan. But now it's Algier. Are we looking for Algier? Algier's nowhere to be found. My life is on the line. What running back do I say? What words come out of my mouth? Is it uncle? Is the first word uncle? The second name Rico? Is it maybe JT? Sure. Probably JT. I mean, JT scoring the touchdowns. We'd be crazy not to say JT. We Jonathan Taylor, 2 words. Boom. But one of the top 3 or 4 names on my mind, like if I'm looking for an anytime touchdown, JT, Dowdle. Dowdle's at least in the cup of conversation, having a cup of coffee with JT. Honestly, like let me just give you the ranking. I'll give you the ranking. Life's on the line, on the 5-yard line, not even like goal line, because you got Hurts. It's going to take some of the, let's say 5-yard line, first down on the 5-yard line, or second down on the 5-yard line. What coach is most likely to run the ball because they don't necessarily trust their quarterback? That's part of this, right? Why is Rico Dowdle getting these touchdowns? Why is Rico Dowdle the guy you do rely upon to get into the end zone on the 5-yard line? Part of it is Bryce Young. Part of it is the receiving core that he has. Part of it is that you've got Canales saying, my best shot, calculation-wise, is to just feed Rico the ball 2 or 3 times in a row. We'll get it in there. And so that's part of it, right? Stevenson's not available. Algier's not available. And J.K. Dobbins is out of the topic of conversation. Who's the most likely to score? It is JT. Then it is Rico Dowdle. I think. I'd probably say. Other running backs that come to mind on the 5-yard line. Used to be Bijan. It still is, don't worry. James Cook is one of them, but I'd say it's Rico and JT. JT, then Rico in that order. That's how I look at it. I think there's so much value baked into his situation and 2025. He reminds me a lot. I don't know how many of you played, same team actually, ironically. I don't know how many of you played fantasy football during D'Angelo Williams' #1 running back season, but it was one of those remarkable years where he didn't replicate it. It was, we thought it was maybe going to be replicated. Let me see if I can pull it up. D'Angelo Williams stats. Let's see if we can pull this up. He was such a phenom. His breakout year. I mean, he had such a big year. Let me see if I can put up D'Angelo Williams' stats. Just a remarkable season, an exciting year, and it was so disappointing that he did not replicate it and wasn't really even remotely ever close to the same value ever again. It was just an anomaly type year for him. And it feels like it could be that way for Rico. We'll talk about it in the offseason for sure. This is D'Angelo Williams. So we're talking about this 18 TD season right here. 2008. 2008, 15, 15, and 18 TDs on the ground. He also had, if I pull up his receiving, just because I don't want to leave that out, in 2008, he had 121 and 2. So he still had a nice chunk of receiving production to add on to this, but it was a 20 touchdown season. It feels very, look at the repeat. It was 7 touchdowns and 1,100. That wasn't bad, actually. His next year wasn't bad, but he never really was consistent. Rico's 28 years old next year, 27 right now, will be 28 before the season kicks off. Highly unlikely to have this long career, but I wouldn't rule out the idea of him being a star next year at the right price tag, and the age will be a factor in shoving his fair market value down. So we'll assess Rico in the offseason for sure. And how we rank him walking into the early part of January, February, March will definitely be determined by how he finishes. But I think that this is a running back that everyone's scared of. They're just scared of him. They're scared of Chuba Hubbard. They're scared of the fact that he's had this quad injury that he's played through. They're scared that he was running back 15 last week instead of running back 5 or 10. So I think the way people are looking at it as is Rico Dowdle is running back 15 or later, because last week he was running back 15. And if you're worried about him and he's running back 15, I don't think you're looking much into the future and saying, oh, I think he's going to go up. I think you're just saying maybe we need to back off and just accept him as a mid to late running back 2. A running back 2, I'm still going to, if he got dropped, I'd be ecstatic and I'd pick him up. But the average bear out there is not looking at Rico as a running back 1. And that's good news if you're trying to acquire him, because if he doesn't deliver upon the value I'm predicting him to have, guess what? You get what you pay for. You're buying a running back 2 mid-range, and he's probably no matter what giving you mid-range running back 2 value. Even if Chuba got the 40% of the work going forward, and they kind of do this regression back to Chuba because he's ineffective or the quad bothers him. The worst case scenario is splitting time. I think he's just a lock unless he gets injured, unless this quad injury becomes something. But I'm willing to take the risk because he's been playing through it. And quad injuries are not as bad as it's like he's got a calf or a groin or something that's going to potentially linger. This is a quad injury, not a big deal. Rico is a beast. He's a monster. This is my favorite top 6 to 10 running back potential player you're getting outside the top 12 running backs. Plain and simple. My third favorite player to trade for right now at the running back position. Number 1's Bijan. Number 2's James Cook. Maybe Dowdle's number 2 and Cook's 3, to be honest. But Dowdle and Cook, Bijan 1, Dowdle and Cook tied for 2. Smitty approved. Go get all 3.
You've just been Smitty approved.
All right. I think this is long overdue. Let's go ahead and make Simi Valley. Simi Valley. Where's Simi Valley at? Where's my boy Simi Valley at? Let's see if I can find him. Where is he at? Simi Valley, message real quickly so I can see your most recent message. We gotta potentially turn Simi Valley into a mod right now. I don't know. We'll see. Put your earmuffs on, Simi Valley. We're gonna. This is like when a person's made, you get in the Cadillac, they drive you to that house that is all abandoned. All right, Simi Valley. Simi Valley, raise your right hand. Do you vow, Simi Valley, to respect the mod access, not abuse your power, get rid of any trolls that are literally coming in and spewing hate speech or anything like that? Check with Smitty if there's ever a question whatsoever. Raise your right hand. I think Simi Valley's not here anymore. Guess we got to give it to Gump. Gump is going to take your place, Simi Valley, in about less than 1 minute. All right, let's get to these super chats and then we'll check on Simi Valley, see if he's around. Maybe he's not. Blank 499 hauler from Tyan. Tyan, make sure you include your message with your question because I won't see any peripheral messages by the time they come around. Should I start Brees or Woody? I would go Brees right now, but if we hear any news that changes that, you can rest assured that we're going to talk about it. But right now, Bijan needs 30 plus touches a game. Falcons like losing. I don't disagree. Harvey or Swift non-PPR. Sorry if it offended you. Love you. No, bro, that's a normal question. I think Swift is even like a tad bit safer right now until we hear word JK's on IR. They probably just, I don't know if they figure that out tomorrow or whatever, but if we don't feel like there's anybody there competing at all, Harvey's going to be probably the higher upside, but more risk type of player. Yeah, I don't know if Simi Valley, I thought I saw Simi Valley in here just a minute ago. Harvey, I'm going to go Harvey for now, but you're not wrong to go Swift. Does anybody start Swift over Harvey? Swift's been balling. I mean, he deserves a nod. Look at this. Best show, Smitty. The Moon Goat, he is humble. Thank you, Lewis. Appreciate you very much. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Traded Brees and Bucky for Bijan. I'm fine with that. You overspent, but it's worth it. He's worth the overpay, especially if you have surplus at all. Start 3 running backs: Henry, Dowdle, Hendy, Marks. I'm going to probably start Dowdle, Judkins, and then between Henry and Hendy, you're waiting on that Hendy news. Anything super positive, like he's the only guy Thursday night, how all that goes down is going to be important. Need one flex and one QB. I'd probably go one QB, one flex and one QB. Who's your QB? I don't see a QB. So of these flexes, I would say probably DeMarcado right now over Christian Watson and Slayton. But tough to say. Tough to say. DeMarcado looks pretty good. Shakir, J-Mo, Quentin Johnson, or Parker Washington start 1. It's J-Mo for me. Anything can happen. Make sure you trust your gut with Quentin, but anything can happen. Appreciate you. Traded Dak and Parker Washington for Javonte Williams. That's a home run. Traded Dak and Parker Washington for Javonte. He needed a QB. I have Bijan. That's unbelievable. Assuming that's not a super flex, which I don't think it is. You crushed the trade, bro. That's unbelievable. And Javonte's another player that's kind of below Dowdle that also has tremendously disrespectfully low fair market value. It's kind of wild. Trade my Bucky and McBride for their Puka and Ertz. I'd rather have Bucky and McBride because McBride can hang with Puka to a degree. I'm not saying I draft McBride over Puka. I'm not saying that at all. But if, let's say, Bucky got abducted by aliens tomorrow, you would still be hanging on in the trade. You'd be losing it, but you'd be hanging on. McBride's good enough. You get Bucky to play at full capacity even a week or two from now, but probably a week from now. You're going to be crushing that trade. But at the end of the day, there's risk involved, in your team and your build obviously matter. I think if you have Puka, St. Brown, London, Diggs, and then you've got Jacobs and Genty, you could win with that. Chat, would you, if you had his team right here with Genty, Jacobs, St. Brown, London, would you trade Puka as your third wide receiver for McBride and Bucky? As long as you can start all 3 running backs, which I totally assume you can, it just balances the flex out a little bit, right? He's moving Bucky into a flex instead of Puka into the flex, you could say, or St. Brown or London. Who would take Puka? Who would take Bucky and McBride? I'd take Bucky McBride personally, but I'm interested to see what the chat would do. Dynasty Superflex trade offer on my hands. My Mahomes and Hampton Rice for his Dak, Chase Brown, and Garrett Wilson and Olave. I'm taking Mahomes, Rice all day long. All day long. Chase Brown I like. Garrett Wilson, I don't know. I like Garrett Wilson, but I'm not sure what to make of his situation. Who's going to be his quarterback? Give me Mahomes and Rice. That's just me in Dynasty. Superflex especially. 14-team PPR. Lamar, Gibbs, Bijan, Hendy, Harvey, Algier, Rice, Buka, Waddle, Calvin Austin, Bowers, Fannin, any moves. Love the RBs. Bijan and Gibbs, Lamar. That tripod is unbelievable. Hendy, Harvey waiting in the wings. Hopefully you can start at least one of those. If you start 4 running backs total with like 2 flex spots, that's fantastic. Rice, Buka, Waddle. There's no moves to be made here. The move is to get your check ready. Get your bank account ready. Make some room for some funds that might be headed your way. That's a total stand down type of situation. Total.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
Don't be moving anything off that squad, young man. Nothing. Which side, Harvey and Waddle or JJ and Judkins? JJ and Judkins not close. Do you think Henny takes the starting role if he balls out? I mean, he has the starting role now. It's just a matter of when Ramondre comes back, does he get half the work back minimum? And he might. There's no guarantee. Henny does need the ball. Who should I trade for using Genty, Ladd, or Judkins? James Cook would be amazing getting Genty and Ladd for James Cook and something. Genty for I like going Genty and you could go Genty and Judkins for Bijan. You could go Genty and another receiver not named Ladd for a Rico and something. I do like keeping Ladd, but I would trade Genty and Ladd for JJ and something. But those somethings they'll matter because I don't, unless you're trading for a Bijan or you're trading for a Buka or even more than JJ. trading both Genty and Ladd for one is risky. I'd maybe do it for JJ if he was playing better, but he's not right now. I'm more worried about that situation. I'm trying to understand why Hall is the better start over Warren this week. Chat earlier said Warren. Matchups favor Warren. I'm starting ETN. Warren, Hall, Devontae Smith replaces one. Chat, let's see if the chat what the chat says again. Jalen Warren or Breece Hall? Breece Hall or Jalen Warren? I mean, I can tell you why. I mean, Breece Hall just exploded. And, I mean, if you're going to play matchup games only, then I can understand where you're coming from. But I always start my studs. And while Jalen Warren's a really nice play, if the matchup's right and everything, I'm just telling you, I don't sit Breece Hall. Breece Hall's capable of being 8 feet tall at any moment. I know that the chat leans Warren. I think there's a lot of Hall votes there. I don't think it's unanimous or anything. It looks like it's more 60-40 in favor of Warren. And I understand why. I mean, the matchups, I get it. You know, you start looking at schedule, it can definitely sway you. And I'll pull up the schedule real quickly. Pittsburgh's at home. It is Cincinnati. There is a chance that this game script is solid for him to run the ball, but what if the Bengals and Flacco air it out and this becomes a passing attack ordeal? And then, yeah, you know, he still could get work. They still throw to him. He's a good pass catcher. But I don't know how we're saying that, you know, Breece Hall's trash. Matchup is tough. It is Thursday Night Football. I get it. You're not wrong to put Warren in. You're not wrong at all. In fact, there is a likelihood that we come in and say, never again on Thursday night. And we're like, we're just doing the song and dance again over and over and over. Like, insanity, doing the thing, doing something repetitiously over and over and over again without a different result. Definition of insanity. I don't know. You're not wrong. The chat is saying you're not wrong. You got a 65% vote in favor of Warren. I just, for myself, can't sit Breece Hall. I just can't. 5-5, sitting in 4th, 12th, 4-6. Wide receivers are elite, but I need a running back too to win this league. Cook, Hendy, Sharps. Got offered Bucky for Hendy. Thoughts? I'd rather have Bucky in a vacuum over Hendy right now, but I'm telling you right now, I hope I'm wrong. And I'm not, I wouldn't say wrong because I love both of them, but my lean is toward Bucky, but I do believe Hendy can get there. It's just we're fighting Vrabel. It's never me doubting Hendy. Hendy's a top 5 running back to me. I think Hendy's better than Bucky if he's given all the work. I mean, look, 147 rushing yards, 250-plus yard runs. The evidence is on the field. I feel like we were vindicated. All this HHH and associate
Call
hate.
HHH and Associates.
People acting like the associates closed. People acting like that this place closed. It didn't close. It's firing on all cylinders right now. Like, this looks really, really solid right now. Problem is, we still have 2 coaches that seem to want to never commit to these 2 guys, Harvey and Hendy. And so for that reason, I believe because the Bucs are needing Bucky so badly, they're not going to pass on using him a ton. I just think you lean toward Bucky, but it's a really close call, bro. It's super, super close. There's nothing wrong with leaning one way or the other. I'm nearly 50-50 on it. I really want to say Hendy. I think what I would say is that if I'm taking Hendy, if someone's offering me Bucky, I take it because I feel like the fair market value is there. If I'm offering Bucky to someone for Hendy, I want Hendy and something. So you're in a tough spot because you're getting Bucky, and that's better than fair market value. I was offered Bijan for Achane. I know this isn't really a buy low, but there is a prize for the league, most season points, and I'm currently neck and neck since Achane still has a bye week. Smash it. Chat, would you rather have Achane with a total point race on the line? Bijan's bye week out of the way. Achane has a bye week. Sounds like he's not going to replace Achane with some monster on his bye. What do you guys think? I would personally take Bijan if the bye week did matter. If there was a points race here and this is not just okay, well, you're going to get in the playoffs and it doesn't matter if he has a bye. I'd take Bijan. I think Achane still lives in a volatile world that looked fantastic last week, but it could be up and down just like London. London and Achane don't live in the most consistent, non-volatile environments. Missing Dart and have a deep bench. Who at flex and super flex in week 11? Judkins, Hendy, Devontae Smith, Jamo, Harvey, Debo, Fields, Mariota. I want to go QB, but I just don't know what your quarterbacks score. If Tua, even on a mid game, like if you go look at Tua's game logs, if Tua during his like middle of the pack type of scoring performances from the year, not his lowest, not his highest, is if he's out scoring like even Jamo's game last week, or even with that, I think you probably got to go Tua if that's the way your quarterbacks are scoring. If not, I'm going Judkins and Hendy. But only you can answer that with your quarterback scoring. I don't have that in front of me, and nor if you told me it would I really be able to calculate it on the top of my head. So you just kind of look at it. Go look at Tua's game logs and see if that makes sense. 12-team PPR, 5-5. Caleb, running backs are Javonte, Bucky, Rashad White, Spears, Nico, Olave, DJ Moore, Pierce. Tight ends, Otten, Musgrave. Any trade ideas? Maybe we move. I don't think there's much to do here unless you're upgrading Caleb using Olave, or trade Olave and Javonte for James Cook or higher. Bucky comes to mind. Rico and a wide receiver for Javonte and Olave. But I think I'm looking at, you could look at Bijan. You never know, bro. But Cook would be probably my target. If I can't get Cook for that, I am trying to get Rico or maybe Jacobs or maybe Judkins with the receiver in that 2-for-2. Just got a trade offer for my Chase Brown and Pickens for his James Cook. Chase Brown and Pickens. I would take James Cook. Yeah, I'd probably take James Cook. It's a good deal, though. Pickens and Chase Brown's pretty good. Chat, do you agree James Cook, or would you rather have Pickens and Chase Brown? I do like Chase Brown a lot right now, but I don't know. Are we undervaluing Chase Brown? Am I undervaluing Chase Brown right now when I'm acting like Pickens doesn't push it over the edge? I think I just feel like Cook still has the capability of really hammering home the value. A 10-team PPR, should I trade Harvey and London for a Dunze and Bucky? I think I keep Harvey and London. It's a close call just because there's still some unknowns with Bucky. I think I take that other side, but it's very close, and you're not wrong to do either side. 7-3, Josh Allen, Jamar Chase, Flowers, Olave, Keenan Allen, Reed, Bucky, Dowdle, Hendy, Harvey. Love the team. Kamara. I'm probably moving Kamara and Kamara and Olave. Yeah, Kamara and Olave. Maybe Kamara and Hendy and Harvey, whatever, if I could get a Cook or something. Because, again, if you trade Hendy or Harvey, just say to yourself, if I'm getting a player that I would love Hendy or Harvey to play like all year and I could press a button and lock in that value, then you're making the right move. Example, you trade Hendy and Olave. You don't want to do it, but you're getting James Cook. I mean, you'd be ecstatic if Hendy played like James Cook the rest of the season. So that's fine. But I am ultimately trying to move Kamara and Olave for Adams, Kamara and Olave for Buka, Kamara and Olave for Nico, Kamara and Olave for Bucky, Kamara and Olave for, you got Bucky, Kamara and Olave for Rico and somebody, Kamara and Olave for JJ. Yeah, buddies. $10 hauler from Ricky. Ricky, appreciate you. Starting lineup this week is Lamar, Barkley, Hendy, Woody, Pickens, Debo, Kelsey, bench, Bucky, Bigsby, swap out anybody. No, not in the lineup. Not in the lineup. I like what you got. Nothing to swap. Yeah, your team becomes a lot more powerful once Bucky's back. You know, and if you can trade next week, great. Maybe Woody gains some value. Maybe Debo gains some value. Maybe Pickens gains some value or whatever. And you can potentially move, you know, something is possible. And if you do, then you know, if you can't move it, you could try and trade Woody now, Woody and Pickens, Woody and Debo now for an Adams type of player, a Javonte doubted player. But if you can trade next week, probably better, because then I believe Woody's probably going to have a good game. But nice team, very solid squad. You'll be fine. JMB, appreciate your super chat, young man. Thank you, appreciate you. 16-team league. Wow, 5-5.5. 4-game streak. Nice. Sutton and Manungai for Dunze and Howard. I'd take a Dunze. Fixes week 12 bye issue and backup for Gadsden Kincaid. I'm fine with this trade. A Dunze. Yeah. And maybe look to trade Garrett Wilson and a running back for just a slight running back upgrade since you've swapped out that talent in a way. Guillotine League, Rice and Cook or Genty in my flex. Rice and Cook or Genty. In order, I would go Rice, Cook. I mean, Rice has got kind of a tough matchup, but I don't know. Chad, are you going Cook at home versus the Bucks, James Cook, or are you going to go Rice? And I know Rice is a kind of a tough play at Denver, but I think I'm still going Rice. I think Rice gets spoon-fed, but Cook is a tough sit. I almost think you got to – I know it's guillotine, but you can't start both of them. I got Gibbs and Jacobs, Puka, London. I mean, I'd start Cook over Jacobs. Jacobs is a nice play, but it's the Giant. Maybe not. Jacobs at the Giants. All right, chat. Let's vote on this. Let's put Rice in. But I want to vote Jacobs at the Giants or James Cook at home versus the Bucks. Please vote. 10 votes, please. 10 votes, please. 10 votes. We've got James Cook at home versus the Bucks or Jacobs. What did I say? Jacobs on the road at New York. JJ's getting the vote. And sitting Cook is tough. Okay, is anybody going to sit Rice for Cook? Let's vote on that now. Rice or Cook? Cook or Rice? Let's see if you can get another vote, Tim, on the Rice thing. That's a tough call, my boy. Very, very tough call. I just don't want to sit Rice.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Call into the bentonprint.com phone line. bentonprint.com phone line. Looks like Denny tried to call us at 6 p.m. Yeah. Denny, we missed Denny's call. Where's Simi Valley? Is Simi Valley back? Simi Valley came in here and then bounced out. And Simi Valley, we're trying to anoint a mod, but Simi Valley is not really proving mod worthy in this moment in time because he's not here. He showed up and bailed. Didn't even sign the attendance sheet. Sup, Smitty, should I trade Aaron Jones and Quentin Johnson for Tyler Warren and Charbonnet? If you like winning, yeah, I would. Who that, Lolo? That's definitely a trade for winners. 917, you're live. What can I do for you? What's your name?
What's going on, Smitty? It's Sonny, man.
Hold on. We can barely hear you, but hold on one second. Just stay right there. All right. Mute yourself real quickly, Ron. I'll be right with you. 7773 caller, mute yourself. I'll be right with you, please. But please hit mute. Don't pretend to mute. All right. You said this is Sonny, the 917 caller. Did you say Sonny?
Yes, Smitty. Yes, Smitty.
Oh, what's up? What can I do for you?
And you gotta go, Smitty. I just want to always start off with that because you ought to go.
Thank you, pal.
And two, I had this trade. I wanted to trade Travion Henderson, and I love him and Buka, but it's Travion Henderson and Buka for Bijan and Jordan Addison. I want to see what you think about that.
Okay, hold on one second. Travion Henderson and Buka. Travion Henderson and Buka for Bijan and Addison. Travion Henderson and Buka. You got to take. Well, it's tough. So the way I look at it is Bijan's by far the best player in the trade. I know people are valuing him lower, but I still value him as a top 5 guy. At the same time, though, it's like, is Ibuka that far away from him? And then is Henderson that far away from Addison? I think if Henderson's fully unlocked, yes, he is. I think Henderson's top 15 overall player. So you could have you got a top 8 to 12 overall player in Buka and a top 15 overall player in Henderson. versus Addison, who's very good, very skilled, but has a quarterback problem right now that makes him a complex player to navigate right now. And Bijan, who I believe is still a top 3-4 overall player. What does it do to your lineup? Is Addison for sure going in the lineup, or do you have a better player that's going to replace Addison if you made this trade and got Bijan?
Okay, so if I made this trade, I also made another trade for Mark St. Brown. So that's why I was trying to get rid of, not get rid of, but trying to upgrade Travion Henderson into Bijan. Let me see. So my roster would be, if you want me to go the whole
Just give me your lineup. Just give me your lineup. If you made the trade for Bijan, what's your lineup?
Josh Allen, Javonte Williams, Bijan, if I made the trade, Nico Collins, and it would be Amon St. Brown, Gaston, and then whoever I'll throw in the flex.
Okay, so who's the flex? So my whole question is about the flex. If you is it Addison or is?
Yeah, my flex spot would be Addison. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I'm at. That's what I'm trying to get at. Okay,
Yeah.
I think I'm probably gonna lean toward the Bijan and Addison side by a hair. But let me tell you something. I'm gonna be rooting for Henderson to make your trade look silly. That's what I'm gonna
do.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, me too. I love it.
Yeah, so hopefully that's the case. But I think right now the fair market value for using fair market value is screaming the Bijan side. But I mean, Addison's got to step up, and he very well could. And I'm not saying that JJ McCarthy's all lost and there's no ability for him to have a solid game. I think, JJ being double teamed is going to help that at times, and we'll just see Addison have some pop games and then some inconsistent games. But it really does all revolve around JJ McCarthy. All right, my boy, anything else real quickly?
Yeah, just real quick, Smitty. He also didn't want to do like that trade because he had also told me that he said he was thinking about it. He didn't want to do it. So if I threw Nico in there instead of Buka, would it still be the same value? Because he said he'd rather do Nico. Would that still be the same value?
Chat. We want to keep Buka over Nico. I do.
I do.
It's close.
I said he could have Nico. I do.
Yeah, it's close, but I mean, I'd rather have Buka. But
I'd rather have Buka too.
Yeah. The reason why is, I think, first of all, Houston playing good defense. They could play good football, but you've got that Mills and Stroud struggled a lot. He looked good the game before he got injured, but there's a lot of volatility there. And also, not that Buka's avoided injury all year. So, I mean, you could say touche, but I think Nico is kind of an injury-prone player that I'm a little fearful of when you're given an opportunity. Right. Yeah, so I definitely do that trade then. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's better for me. Thank you, Smitty. You to go,
right,
man.
Later, bro. Appreciate you. Ron Navy dropping $100 hauler. He says that finally the government is open. Over 6 weeks not getting paid. What's Ron Navy do before he even buys a steak? He throws $100 super chat on the show. And Ron, we've got the new Buka video. I don't know if you saw it on the 8 p.m. show, but do you want me to add you to that video for this $100 hauler?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Right.
That worked.
All right.
I know, I didn't see it earlier.
Well, here you go. Enjoy. Everybody keep it quiet if you can while it plays. And here is Ron Navy's, he's now sponsoring this video.
Mecca and Buka, he is him. Buka is fast. With Buka you will win. Mecca is a rocket ship. Mecca, he's our man. He is Buka, hear him roar. Let's score some more. Buka is a rocket ship. Buka, he's our man.
Ron Navy, part of the Buka chant. We've already got 3 people on this Buka video. People love sponsoring this one. This is going to be a favorite, I think, of most people. Ron, what did you have? What do you hear? What do you say?
I just wanted to celebrate that it finally got open. And
Ron's got to stay.
Yeah, what do you think? Now, is it because I didn't get to see it? I know I saw the head. I didn't get to see the show when we talked about it. Is Dobbins actually going to be out?
Dobbins is probably going on IR, so he's probably out at least 4 games.
So then it's Harvey.
Well,
time.
is it Harvey, or could Sean Payton be like, Beatty's really been looking fantastic, and we just don't know. I mean, it's got to be. If anything, it opens it up, the door to like 60% of the work or 50. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Harvey get unleashed. I mean, you got to remember Sean Payton loved him, and he's been enamored by him. I don't think it's the same dynamic with Sean Payton and Harvey as it is with Vrabel and Hendy. Like, there was an ESPN, I think not Dan Graziano or whatever, reported today, which I don't buy it. Is his speculation that he thinks that the team still very much they have trust in Stevenson, and that Stevenson will have his job when he comes back. That was Dan Graziano. I didn't report on it because it's just his opinion. It's not anything that worries me. It's going to be all on Hendy and in Hendy's hands if Hendy wants to go ahead and take his second round draft capital, which the team invested, and show that it's worth using. Not to mention, like, Stevenson coming back from injury, he's going to fumble the ball right when he gets in there. He's going to be rusty, ready to drop the ball. But Harvey should be. I mean, they gave him a hat trick game, not even using him full time. I can't imagine Sean Payton doesn't use him. But would it shock me? It wouldn't shock me. Nothing would shock me at this point, honestly. But right. do I feel wrong at all on any level about my evaluation of Hendy? No. Do I feel wrong on any level with my evaluation of Harvey? No. Did I miscalculate this coaching staff's commitment to the 2 running backs? Yes, but I don't think it was that predictable, because in both cases, despite Derrick Henry taking time to evolve, I've already told everybody that's not even Vrabel's fault, because Henry couldn't hit the hole. It took him a while. He had to work with specialists to get. He had special, it took some special extra attention to get him to try and get a quick step. And it took Henry about a year to get past Dion Lewis. But in the case of Sean Payton, he made Alvin Kamara an 83 reception rookie running back. So the signs weren't really there to this degree, but we did know that it could take, like Bucky, till week 10, 11, 9. And it took exactly till week 10 for Hendy, which is the same week that Bucky got unleashed a little bit. And then Harvey's going to get unlocked, hopefully, here in week 11. So it's not what we wanted. I know a lot of people that drafted him were counting on a lot higher. But this is why you had to be careful and not put all your eggs in one basket. And also make sure you weren't taking Hendy in round 2 when you were getting him in late 3 or the 3-4 turn or round 4. Some people are like, I don't care, I'm taking him at 10. And it's like you can't get into the hype that much. You gotta be businesslike.
All right, hey Smitty, I'm gonna get rolling here. I just wanted to say a few things, and then
all right.
That. And hey Travis, I know you got to be online, so what's up?
Yeah, Ron.
All right, Ron. Appreciate you. Go spend that money. Thanks for the $100 hauler. Go spend that money, pal. Go get a steak. All right, later.
All right, later.
Ron's going to the 24-hour steak joint right now. I can tell. It's probably a 24-hour Golden Corral open right now that's got Ron's name on a steak. Secured my Adunze Plus Cup for Algier and Tez. Yeah, that's a ridiculous trade. Nice job, man. Way to take advantage of the Algier hype. $20 hauler from our boy H13 coming in strong.
Alert. Super chat alert.
I can't even understand why somebody would do that trade. Like, Tez is exciting. I like him. Algier, he's getting carries. You're in dire straits at running back. You're like, anybody? Bueller? Anybody getting some touches? Let me go with Algier. But to get rid of Adunze, I think that was a really good move.
The narratives out there in comment sections and different areas, because I've clicked around out of curiosity to see what people are saying on forums and different crap.
On Bijan and Algier? Yeah.
Yeah. It's insanity.
And I haven't even read any of that, Travis. I'm just reading the temperature of the questions. That's why I always say, I don't even let outside noise do too much. I report on news. The Dan Graziano, I think it was Graziano. I forget who. Dan something. I think it was Dan Graziano. Someone from ESPN is the one that said that about Hendy. I didn't report that because I don't think that's news. I think he's just giving his opinion. But even when I don't agree with it or agree with it, I'll sometimes go live to shoot it down. I didn't think that was deserving of it because it was just his statement. And I could come out here and say, here, let me give a statement for everybody right now, right here, right now. It's my opinion, and I hope that shows go live. Immediately, people should go live on this news because I'm breaking it. That Hendy's not going to surrender the starting job when Stevenson's ready to come back. I mean, that's about the same exact thing that the ESPN guy did. But the Bijan stuff, I haven't even taken in any of the information. I'm just getting the pulse of the amount of questions where people are coming to me and saying, should I trade my Bijan for this blade of grass? Should I trade Bijan for this lunchbox? It's a collectible. It's worth $25-$30 bucks.
I'm seeing people actually do those. I'm seeing people actually do the trades, when I go looking around.
There was a guy that super chatted.
Giving them away for a song.
Yeah. I forget who it was that super chatted the trade and they got rid of Bijan. I'm like, no, I don't like it, bro. I forget what he did. But real quickly, Travis, hold on 1 second, and then I'm going to the phone line. Guys, don't hang up. I'll be right with you. Mahomes, Dart, Caleb, Gibbs, Judkins, Chase Brown, Harvey, Chase, Wilson, Adunze, Tet, Pitts. Next move has to be wide receiver, tight end. Got Caleb to force QB needy teams to trade. I don't mind that. So, yeah, I guess explore that. And if you could trade Dart or Caleb, I don't even mind Caleb being your backup if Dart gets you more. But explore that. Dart being injured right now probably makes it easier to trade Caleb. Caleb and Chase Brown for try and go get that Cook. Caleb, Chase Brown, maybe even Tet, or Caleb, Chase Brown, Garrett Wilson. Go get Buka. Go get Nico. Adams is even in the cards. You might give up a little less depending on the player you get. I think Bucky would be fantastic. If you're going wide receiver shopping, JJ, Garrett Wilson, Tet, and Caleb for JJ. I totally do. JJ's probably tomorrow's show because we went running back, shopping today on the stream tonight. Dowdle, Bijan, Cook, and tomorrow is going to be JJ. Even though there's risk involved, JJ. And we'll go through a gauntlet of other wide receivers. Buka still feels a little cheaper than he should be. Rice feels a little cheaper than he should be. Those are big name players. Adams, because he's been banged up, feels a little cheaper. The wide receivers are harder to buy low. Pickens feels pretty nice value. That's what I would do. Thank you, H13. I'll get to these other super chats after I blast through these phone calls real quickly. And then I'll go back to Travis in 1 second. Actually, there's just one person left. 773. You're live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Going on, Smitty? It's James.
Yo,
I'm from Chicago.
James, what's up, my guy?
All right, I'm doing horrible this year, but I'm 5-5, and I'm trying to see. I need running backs. I only got Genty. Everyone else is dead. J.K. Dobbins is going on IR, right?
Yes, sir. Likely to, yes.
Well, someone offered me Rico and Garrett Wilson for Lamar and T-Mac. I got Hurts and Danny Dimes still. So
is it one QB or two? You said?
No, it's just one QB league.
You got Hurts already,
and Danny Dimes and Lamar. I got Lamar on another trade for MHJ like 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay, so you'd be giving up Lamar. Say it one more time, the trade. Lamar and who?
Lamar and T-Mac. T. McMillan.
Okay.
For Rico and Garrett Wilson.
Now, does he have another?
Is Garrett out for this?
No, he's not out for the season, but he's out 3 to 4 weeks. He could be out longer, but what other receiver does he have? I know he's trying to get rid of Garrett Wilson because he's out 3 to 4 weeks, but right now he's out 3 to 4. He's not out 4 to 5 or anything like that, but 3 to 4. What other receiver does he have?
He said he's willing to. It's either Garrett or Keenan Allen because he's not trying to give up Jefferson or Ibuka.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still doing this because you may or may not even use T-Mac. He might be a spot duty guy for you, and then you could just look at Garrett Wilson when he comes back. He's a wide receiver 1/2. He's still a great player.
Yeah.
So I'd take Rico if you need a running back, and you're not using Lamar or T-Mac really. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And you could probably flip Garrett Wilson after you do this if you wanted.
but I think our trade deadline might be next week or this week. I could try to figure something out though. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it, man.
All right, that sounds good. Hopefully it changes the way my league's going.
Yeah. Well, Rico's a good player to go get, bro. And if I could, let me just see something real quickly. Travis, would you
He's
rather?
not hurt though, is he?
I mean, he's got a little quad thing, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. He's a little.
I gotta risk it.
I feel like I'm selling something on Facebook Marketplace right now. He's like, "Is it working?" Well, you know, it turns on. I mean, I don't know. Hold on a second. Let me just look up something real quick. Hold on 1 second, bro. Travis, do you like?
Take your time, please.
Travis, do you like Lamar or Hurts more moving forward if you had to pick right now?
I'd probably take Lamar, but you know, in his situation, if that's all he can, that's what he can get for running back.
Bro, can I tell you something? You know what I would do? I just want to see if Travis agreed with what I was saying, and I was pretty sure he was going to feel the same way. I would switch it out and give him Hurts. I would tell if he's not going to trade you Buka or whatever, and you can use that line. If you're not going to give me Buka or whatever, and you're going to give me Garrett Wilson, who's injured, might even go on IR, I'll give you Hurts, not Lamar. And say Lamar's even injured right now, by the way. And I know you don't want that, but you got to take a swing. And the thing is, Lamar's schedule is so good. Lamar's going to be the next video we do when we talk about buy low quarterbacks. Maybe I'll do that one tomorrow. Lamar's schedule is so good. Lamar is going to explode. If he stays healthy, I know he's banged up right now, but if he stays healthy, he's going to explode. Hurts has been erratic all year. A.J. Brown's a disaster. They could fall apart a little bit in terms of the production. I'm going to take Lamar, bro. I stand on it. I close the door on him and make him come back to the table. I do not give him Lamar.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get him to get off of Lamar.
Don't try. Just tell him that's it. Tell him that's it. Say, here's the deal. You want it? Come get it. You don't want it? Then you're not getting him. Say, you can have Hurts. Hurts and T-Mac, do it live. And I close the door. I walk away. Get up and walk away from the table. Don't just be like, this is what I want. Okay, fine. Just get up and walk away. Lamar's not worth giving up. I think Lamar's going to carry you week in and week out. You trade Lamar, you're going to regret it. You're gonna watch Lamar have 4 touchdown games, 5 touchdown game, 3 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. You're gonna regret it.
That is Lamar. That is what Lamar does.
So why trade him?
All right, Smitty.
All right, later.
You got me thinking.
You're not gonna listen. I can tell you're wavering. I'm gonna take away your Bijan card in advance.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Belly League too.
I know, but I'm taking it away in advance because I can tell you're going to trade Lamar.
Because I'm 100% sure that he won't do it for Hurts because he's in number 1.
I've been doing this a long time. I can smell from a mile away. You're not going to listen. You're not listening to me.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Don't do it for Lamar at all.
What if
he gives me a Buka?
Yeah, Chad, did I not call this? He's not listening to a word I'm saying. I couldn't have been more clear to you.
If he gives you a Buka, it's a different story.
Yeah, if he gives you a Buka.
Okay.
I couldn't be more clear. And you're still saying, so you really think I should? Bro, I'm slamming the door on his face. I am not trading him Lamar. Your
Bijan card has been revoked.
It's done. No Lamar. He's staying to the team.
I'm holding your Bijan card until you come back and confirm later on that you didn't trade Lamar. All right, I got to go, bro. Appreciate you.
I got you. Have a good one.
Later. I could tell, man. I could smell that from a mile away. This guy was wavering. He was taking in some information that he wanted to, and then he's just letting it go out the other ear. He's like, I'm not. Hold on, Travis. Let me just get through these supers real quickly. They should be pretty quick. Tough call for sure. Great info as always. Thank you, Timothy. Appreciate you. We've heard hair photo time. Heard the hair photo time. I don't know what that means, Kevin.
Oh, I think he wants to see a picture of you when you were younger.
Oh, when I had like blossoming hair when my hairline wasn't so high.
You had a mane full of hair.
I mean, yeah, I'll try and find something, but I had long parted. It was like parted hair. You know, it was like Leonardo DiCaprio. They called me Leonardo Smitty. No, they didn't. I got a lot of Eminem. Eminem, when they really Eminem stand up. I had bleached blonde hair at one time in college when that was a thing when you dye it. It was before Joe Burrow tried to bring it back. it was definitely the spiked up kind though. You know, the metal necklaces and everything. I wasn't gothic or anything, but I definitely had like the ball and chain, tight white t-shirt, huge muscles at college. But anyway, let me go through these real quick. Mahomes or Lamar or Dowdle on. Also, Dowdle on bench, I think is what BN stands for. Mahomes or Lamar. This week, Lamar. Overall, it's pretty dead even, but Lamar's going to blow up down the stretch if he stays healthy. And then Dowdle on the bench. I don't know why Dowdle will be on your bench, but I was certainly trying to figure out a way to get him in the lineup. You kind of didn't have context there in terms of what you're doing or why Dowdle's on the bench, but I'm sorry to hear that Dowdle's on the bench. He shouldn't be on the bench. He doesn't deserve to be on the bench. He's an absolute monster, so maybe look into that. Thank you, Timothy. Appreciate your super chat, young man. Recovery. Hey, Smitty, Monty or Vidal this week. You know, Monty can pop off any game and do bad the next game. So trust your gut on that. But I'm going to go Vidal. He looks pretty solid right now, and they want to use him, and I think they will use him. Kelsey or Gadsden this week. If Gadsden's playing, which it looks like he will, I think I go Gadsden. I think the matchup's better. Sizzle, appreciate you. Very strange question, but where do you rank Bijan compared to Rice as an overall fantasy option? Not that strange, Sizzle. It almost sounded like you're going to ask me like what I ate, for dinner or something, and it's a very common question. I would say Bijan compared to like Rice. I would say Bijan to me is top 4 or 5 overall. So I definitely could put JT and Gibbs and JSN above them. And then when you get to Jamar Chase and you get to Lamb, it's going to be Bijan in that mix right there. And Rice right below Bijan. If I was trading Bijan for Rice, I would want Rice and a running back like Javonte. Just to give you an example of the value I would expect. Even if the fair market doesn't match it, doesn't matter. I'm not going to play the fair market game. I'm going to trade Bijan for what he's worth. Or I'm not trading him. Traded Brees and MHJ for Cook. I would take Cook. That's a great trade. Traded Coleman for Harvey. That's laughable, bro. Nice job. Weeks ago. It doesn't matter if it was weeks ago. It's still crazy. H13, same league. I lost MHJ. Got offered Troy Franklin for Woody. I'd rather have Woody, but I could understand making this move. Franklin's been getting consistent targets. He looks really good. I could be fine with this. If you need a wide receiver desperately, I'm Smitty approving it. But in a vacuum, I'd rather have Woody, but super, super close. Sizzle with another super chat says Amon-Ra Pitts, Igbuka, Judkins, Hampton trade offer. Wondering your side. I think Igbuka, Judkins side is better. Amon-Ra, Kyle Pitts, or Igbuka, Judkins, Hampton. Give me the Buka Judkins by 1,000%, because there's nothing really on the Amon-Ra side other than Amon-Ra, and Buka's. I'd rather have Buka over Amon-Ra or call them dead even. And then you get Judkins, who's a top 15 overall player. It's not even close. It's night and day. Very good trade. Should I trade JD5, Waddle, and Harvey for JJ? JD5, Waddle, Harvey for JJ. I think I probably would. I know JJ's got concerns, but I'm one of those guys that says, you know what? JJ's a top 5 overall player. Talent-wise, his situation's trash right now. But I still want to believe that he can put it together enough to earn this. But I do also feel like if it didn't go through, like let's say he withdrew it, I'd have some relief in that I can keep Harvey. But I think I'd take JJ. But at the same time, I mean, Waddle's pretty good right now. Is Waddle that far from JJ? Maybe a week from now, I would say no. But right now, I'm willing to say I want the JJ value, and I feel like it's just a lot safer. Mute yourself real quick, 775. I'll be right with you, okay? I think I just take the JJ side, but it's arguable, and you would not be wrong to
close.
Two players. Yeah, mute yourself. I'll be right with you, bro, okay? All right?
Yeah.
I don't. He's not there. I heard him at the end, but he's not responding. Is Bucky a good buy? Maybe that was my fault. Maybe that. You know what? I think that was Travis responding, and I thought that was him.
That was me.
I'm sorry. Bro, call back. My bad. 775. Poor guy. Hold on, Travis. No, that's right. Hold on. Sorry, my man. I thought I told you to put yourself on mute. It took you a second to like come back and say okay. That's my fault, bro. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right with you. Is Bucky a good buy? Right. 5 and 5 with Allen, Genty, Judkins, Hendy, Benson, Rice, London, Ladd, McBride. Only one flex. So what would you offer, if anything? Bucky's a great buy, as we've talked about all day. You could give like Benson and Ladd. I don't know if that'll happen, but it's certainly something I'd explore. You could certainly trade Hendy and Ladd. Honestly, that is understandable either way. I think Ladd and Hendy probably is safer for a team that really needs to have the fill all the positions with the trade, and they can't be left with any vacancies. So if let's say you're starting all these players, then you're kind of in that same boat. And trading Ladd is not wise. But you have Benson there. You have a lot of players listed. I imagine you're starting Genty, Judkins, Hendy, Allen, and then Rice, London, and then you have a flex between Hendy and Ladd. If not, if you're starting Hendy and Ladd and you have that many flex spots, trading Hendy and Ladd for Bucky could be a bad thing for you at 5 and 5 with Bucky out this week and you don't know about next week. If let's say you don't need one of those players, it's still a gamble this week. And who you have to go in that spot would matter, but it's understandable. I personally would probably rather with your team have Hendy and Ladd. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one away. Genty for Bucky, it's the same thing though. At 5 and 5, can you afford not having Bucky for a little, or for Genty and having Bucky sit 1, maybe 2 weeks? I don't know. The only other thing you could do is what tight end does he have? What other tight end can you get off waivers? Because if you could trade McBride for Bucky, I would definitely do that. And if you had to give up Benson, maybe get another piece back that you could use right now. Maybe a really solid tight end. Maybe he's got, maybe Loveland's on waivers. I like that. And maybe you could trade McBride and Benson for Bucky and then like a solid wide receiver or another running back like Monty or something like that. I don't know. You'd have to tell me what you could get from him tight end wise, because I the only thing I would look at would be Benson. I'm sorry, McBride. Or because I think I love London. We're big London people here, but he is on a team that's going to make him play like this. Could you downgrade him to Buka or to Nico or to Rice, or do those owners value those wide receivers more? If they do, then they won't play ball. If they think it's a downgrade for you to take on Buka or Rice or Nico or Adams, and then they give you a player, like let's say you could get like a Rico or whatever, or if the Bucky owner happens to have one of those wide receivers, then you could include Bucky in that trade and it'd be beautiful. So that's all I got for you. Appreciate you. And then H13 final super chat, then over to the phone caller who's been waiting patiently. Thank you very much. What wide receiver can I get for Woody and Benson and Addison? Adams, Adunze. You're not going to get Boca Rice. Of course you try, but you'll get the door slammed on your face. Try though. I don't know. I don't think you could go lower than that. Look. Oh wait, never mind. You can. I thought it was Waddle in there again. Woody, Benson, Addison, Adams, Adunze. You try for Boca, get the door slammed in your face. Ladd, maybe.
Waddle. What about Waddle or Ladd?
Yeah, Waddle maybe. Ladd for sure. That's about it. I don't think there's such a drop off. You know, MHJ's off the board now. DK's not playing consistent enough. BTJ's off the board now. Devontae Smith, I guess you could look at Devontae Smith, but is he really that much better than Addison and Woody? Like, I don't know. Worthy's not playing well at all. I mean, this is a debacle, man. This season is absolute.
How do you feel about Olave right now?
Yeah.
Because he bounced right back. And, 5 for 104.
Yeah.
For the TD.
Olave would be interesting, I suppose. Yeah, I could get behind that.
Situation
I'd maybe try and do two
me,
of them, though. I'd do two of them.
Been
Woody
good.
or Benson and Addison for Olave would be good. And then Michael Wilson, he's a good pickup this week if you need a desperation play for sure because MHJ's out, no doubt about it. And then let me just hit these real quick. I'm sorry, caller. Hold on. Silver Rapture, Peyton said RJ is built to last. Great interview. Had a boy. Love that. In any of the recent stuff that Peyton said, we'll probably be going live on tomorrow on. So thank you, Silver. Would you trade Jaylen Warren and Chase Brown for Jettas? I would take Jettas personally if I need a wide receiver, and I would not do it if I need a running back or vice versa. I need a running back. I like the Chase Brown side. I need a wide receiver. It's pretty even. Like one could really argue that Jettas and Chase Brown are tied. To send Woody for Franklin, I could go either way. Try and trade Woody plus Benson and Addison for wide receiver. Buka and Rice will be my starters, just not confident in Addy. I'm not like super confident in him, but I do love him as a talent. I'm just not confident in his situation. But I would probably rather have Woody if I need a running back. I'd rather have Franklin if I need a wide receiver. But trying to trade Woody and Benson and Addison for that wide receiver is going to be tough. I think you just shoot for Olave, maybe like Travis said, Ladd. You try for Buka, you try for Adunze, you try for Adams. Probably not going to get it. Adams, because he's banged up, you never know. Some people think he's going to fall apart because he's older. Is my T. Higgins for RJ Harvey too rich? No, I think that could be. You're going to have to pay a little bit more than the fair market value to get into Harvey or Hendy because they're climbing right now and the market's adjusting. It's kind of like buying silver or gold. You got to buy over spot, right? You can't just buy at the current price. They make you buy it in this gap zone to account for the rise as you're buying it. So you're going to have to overpay, and I think Higgins and Harvey are pretty damn close. You need a receiver. I could trade Harvey for Higgins if I need a receiver. I could trade Higgins for Harvey if I need a running back. So dead even, 2-7. Like the team a lot. Looking pretty good. Definitely make that trade, Dean. It's a great trade. Thank you for the super chat, my man. And then the last one, and then over to the caller who, again, has been waiting very patiently. I appreciate you. Yahoo projection higher for Hendy than Rico and Barkley. That's what we're talking about, my boy. Actually, I don't like that you told me Yahoo's doing that because they're usually off. Okay, caller, you are live. What's your name? 775. I appreciate you waiting.
Yeah, no problem. My name's Lee from Reno. More than happy to wait patiently. You've won me the last 2 championships in a row. So,
Had a boy. Let's get it a third. Let's get a third.
I had a question. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Got to take kind of a big swing. I've been murdered by injuries this year. Malik Neighbors and just downhill since then. I ended up getting Ibuka and Rice, so my wide receivers are doing pretty good right now. And I had a surplus of running backs. I got Henry, Henderson, Judkins, and Benson. Looks like he's going to be coming back in a couple of weeks. So my tight end room looked really, really bad. So I might be taking a lap on it, but I ended up trading Genty for Bowers. And I figured if somebody was going to get taken out of the game, it'd be because they were getting outscored. And they'd throw it back in with Bowers, and Genty would get shut down.
I don't hate that trade. I mean, Bowers is clearly in the same value range for sure, so I'm fine with that. And you got good RBs. You got Judkins, Hendy, and Harvey, and who else? Or Henry, Hendy, Judkins, and Benson, and who else?
Also Vidal.
Okay, and then your receivers?
I got Buka and Rice.
And okay, that means your quarterback?
Lamar.
Yeah.
So I got basically it's going to be Lamar, Buka, Rice, Henry, Hendy, Bowers, Judkins.
Yeah, what's the question? It's a good team.
I was trying to see if Bowers for Genty was a good trade.
Yes, it's very good. I like Genty, bro. I love him, and I'm not saying that I don't hope that Genty outplays Bowers. I'll be rooting for it all year. But we're a Bowers people too, and Bowers, he's gonna be. I think everyone hat trick Bowers, and then the next week no points Bowers is wild to me. How everyone remembers only the no points Bowers. He's gonna be a little up and down at times, but this is the move for you. It's time to go all in on the RB room here anyway. And if you kept Genty, wouldn't you be struggling? I imagine you only start 3 running backs.
Right.
So what are you going to do? Waiver and say, I'll sit Genty anyway, and now I don't have Bowers? It was a great move. You're putting your balls on the line.
Okay.
I like it.
Perfect.
All right, my boy.
Well, thanks for that.
Chat loves your team, by the way. They're saying league winner.
Oh, nice. I'm actually going against the number 1 team this week. That's why I felt the need to kind of make a trade and do something, because I'm 4-6 right now. I'm barely hanging on with the injuries.
He's going up. You know who he's going up against, though?
Mecca and Buka, he is him. Buka
Mecca,
is
Buka,
fast
baby.
with Buka, you will win. Mecca is a rocket ship. Mecca.
Anything else I can do for you, pal?
No, that would be it. Thanks, Smitty.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Later.
All right, bye.
All right, Travis, what do you got?
I think you got one more super chat.
I need 2 Hendy, Wright, Chase Brown. I'd probably go Hendy and Chase Brown, not a question. And then Otten pitch Otten. They're using Otten a ton, bro. All right, go ahead, Travis.
So I had called a few weeks back before bye week started and read off a team where I have really, really good depth. Now that I'm through bye weeks, I'm kind of torn on what to do. Do you have a minute to just write out my wide receivers and running backs?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have wide receiver. I have JSN, Rice, Igbuka, London, and JMO.
Okay. Running back?
Running back, I have Henry, Dowdle, Hendy, ETN, and Judkins.
All right.
And week to week, I need 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and only 1 slack. So
2 wide receivers.
This week I'm torn. 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs.
And 1 flex.
Slack.
Okay.
Yeah. So
who's your quarterback and tight end?
I got Drake May at QB, and then tight end I have Gadsden and Fannin.
All right. So Henry Dowdle, Hendy, ETN, Judkins, JSN, Rice, Buka. And you can only start 2 wide receivers. Jeez, bro.
Yeah, I did good in the draft.
Now, I will
I'll
say,
try to make trades, obviously,
I will say,
here and there, so I can upgrade, but it's hard to sleep.
As much as I love JSN, he's the most movable player. Like, I'm not saying to trade him necessarily, but if you're trying to trade Rice, you might just keep getting stonewalled and you never get a deal done in time. You try and trade Buka, you're just not going to get the right deal. Try and trade London, you're not going to get the right deal. I wonder if you could go get JT or Gibbs right now with JSN and then just put that in the, I don't know. It's not that I want to trade JSN, but I mean, you're probably getting somebody that's very close, right? Gibbs, I'd take that if you're in that spot.
Okay. For this week, what would you be leaning towards? Right now, I have JSN, Rice, and Igbuka in the 2 wide receiver and flex, but then I'm torn on running back and kind of torn on flex too. Like, would you play Hendy?
I want to,
on
but
Thursday night?
I want to.
Or is it?
I just don't. I don't know. Okay, so Henry is.
Right now, I have Henry and Dowdle in as my running back.
Okay.
Right now.
So I'm gonna take. Let's see, Dowdle Atlanta. I'm gonna go Dowdle. And Hendy. I can't. You're gonna get this wrong a lot, But Dowdle and Hendy's feels strong to me. If you don't want to go Thursday night, if you want to use your brain and logic and not your heart, I guess it would be, for me, it would be Judkins and Dowdle or Henry and Dowdle, but it doesn't mean that the heart's wrong. I think Hendy. I think we also tomorrow need to hear.
Hendy.
We also need to hear something tomorrow. We need something. We need we just need Vrabel or some sort of news report to suggest. I know, but Jennings could play, and what's that mean? We just need to hear something. If we just hear something, anything, it could be just, hey, the wind's gonna blow in the direction that the Patriots are playing in. Anything. Hendy had a nice lunch. Anything that can just make us feel like this isn't going against him, or let's say there's nothing negative. That could be the thing that we're waiting on. But I do believe Hendy and Dowdle is what I would ultimately do. I just don't know if I'm gonna shake my head. Part of me needs you to bench Hendy just for all of us. If you bench him, it'll go great. I think you need to take one for the team.
Make the sacrifice, yeah.
I think you need to for the simulation.
With this team, I could do it because I'm not being cocky. I'm just saying I have options.
Yeah, no, that's a good team. We need Travis to take one for the team.
So, would you agree with? Right now, I have JSN and Rice as my two wide receivers, and Buka at flex, which leaves London on the bench. Do I do that?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
All right. And,
I like it.
And so if you needed to trade two or even three players to get Gibbs, who would they be? I guess I'm going to throw.
I would say I'm not moving Rice. I'm not moving Rice, London, JSN, or Rice, Buka, JSN. I'm moving London, and I'm moving probably ETN and Henry. Henry, ETN, and London. I could do that for Gibbs for sure. I could move Judkins, ETN, and London for Gibbs and maybe something or whatever. But I'm personally not moving Dowdle. I'm not moving Hendy. I'm not moving JSN. I'm not moving Rice. I'm not moving Buka.
All right. Yeah. So if I stick with how I have had it, then it would be Henry and Dowdle.
I like it, man.
Running back.
All right. I'm kind of tired, Travis. I might call it, but anything else?
Oh, one person was asking. I don't think you covered it. I think it was just in the chat. Someone was asking, would you trade Kittle and Harvey for Bowers? Or would you
Kittle, Harvey for Bowers. I think I wavered on that one today. I could go either way. I think if you needed the running back help badly, I could do it. If you didn't, then I wouldn't. So just come down to the running back need. All right, Travis, appreciate you. See you on the Patreon. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Thank you all for the super chats. You guys are marvelous. I'll see you all tomorrow. Please make sure you get on over to the live chat Patreon. This is where our community is going to live, on the Patreon. 365, 24/7. It never shuts down. The link is right here. I'll drop the link. Phone line's closed. I'm sorry, bro. That was the last call. Calling tomorrow, though. There's the link. Join the Patreon. It's pinned in the live chat. 24/7, 365, and it's going to only get better. It's going to only get better. You're going to love what we're doing on the Patreon. I'm going to create so much content on there. It's not just a live chat anymore. Just wait. See you all later.